conference will now be recorded.
Hello, sir. Sir, you are not audible.
Hi everyone. So how about now? Is my voice
Yes,
is
yes, sir.
still facing the same issue?
No, it is audible.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So we are into OData service. So what I'm speaking previously, to work with OData service, we need to remember these transaction codes, which are very important. One is used to create the OData project, and another one to test the OData, and third one to maintain service. Service is nothing but the connectivity and the data exchange classes and methods, which will be used inside this maintenance service. And to understand this, we are going to use a requirement. Our requirement is from ERP system, we have a data in a table, customer ship information, and this information usually need in the website portal. And to send that, we are going using OData gateway services. So to achieve this, we have to perform few steps in ERP side as well as gateway system side. So in ERP side, we need to create OData, entity type, entity set, and runtime artifacts. And in gateway side, we have to perform register, activate service, implement entity types and methods, and test entity types and methods. But we don't have GJD system, so the steps from 4 to 6 also we are going to perform in ERP side. So once you completed all these steps, then only you can exchange your information from ERP system to portal. Usually in portal, let's assume like Amazon is our portal. In Amazon portal, when you are placing an order, what you will do, you will be selecting your delivery addresses. So this delivery addresses, usually every customer has multiple home address, office address, or friends, like this, multiple addresses will be there. And these addresses, when you click on it before you placing an order, you will be seeing multiple addresses information. And out of that, you will select any one address which you wanted to deliver, right? So when you are selecting that, how you are getting address information, because that data which is kept in a table. So from website, what we will do, we will pull multiple addresses from backend system, and also we will create addresses into backend system. And sometimes we'll modify address information, sometimes we will delete addresses if we are no longer living over there. So all these operations from web applications we will perform. And in the backend, if you are pulling address information, this table it will send you the data. And if you are updating information, this table will get updated. If you are deleting address, this table will get deleted with the data. So all these actions you are doing from web application, and you are using OData help to achieve that in ERP system. So for that, we need a table first with customer and ship to location, some test data like that. And after that, we have to follow the steps and then create project, entity type, entity sets. So these are all I'll explain during the creation time. What is entity type sets and runtime artifacts and all. So first, let me get into the system and first check, do we have this table exist or not. So we have this table, and inside this table, you can see customer ID and ship to location are there, and both are key fields in this table. And you can see some test data also maintained. Just assume customer two is Arun Automobiles, and ship to location is Hyderabad, Amirpet, and this one Arun Automobiles, and this is ship to location is Gachibowli. Like this, one customer has multiple shipping locations, and now this customer is going to place order from website. So when he was going to place orders from website, when he click on this delivery locations, we need to show our delivery locations whatever we have in the website level, in the ERP side. So to show this information, we have to create OData service. So where we will create OData service in SCGW transaction. So go to SCGW transaction, and here click on OData project. So enter your project details, customer, ship to, and then maintain some short description, customer, ship to, and then store under package, local package, continue. So this is already in use. Okay, let me change. Continue. So now we have our project created, and inside this project you can see data model, service implementation, runtime artifacts, and service maintenance. So data model is nothing but what is the data you wanted to exchange to another system. That information we are going to create here. So it's basically contains your fields, structures, and table information, where you can see entity types, entity sets, associations are there. Entity types are structures, entity sets are table, and associations is nothing but foreign key relationship, how a table to table data which is connected. So that relation you can specify here. If you wanted to send multiple tables where tables are connected, then you are using these associations. Right now we are using only one table with ship to and customer, so we are not going to use any association. It is a single table data exchange. So now in the data model, we have to provide our structure which we wanted to exchange information. So right click on the project, and then so right click on the entity types, click on create. So provide your entity type name. One second. Okay, so place the cursor on data model and then click on create entity type. So provide your entity type, G customer ship to, and select this entity set as well. So entity type is structure, entity set is table. So table type. So why we need table type? Because one customer has multiple ship to locations. So whenever we wanted to send only single ship to, then we can use entity type. Whenever we wanted to send multiple ship to where the customer is having, then we will use entity set. Continue. So now expand and then see, this is the entity type which is created, and entity set will be created here. So now select this entity type, right click, no, double click on properties and click on create. This is- Just a second. Okay. So there are multiple ways where you can create your entity types and entity sets. So here, why this is not going? So here enter your field names. What is that? Gcust Gcust ID, and this is a key field, and select data type EDM string, and enter field label. So we don't have a field label, so just save and click create one more. So this is ship to. SHIPTO. This is ship to, and this is also key field, and this is also data type use string. So now save. So this is one way where we can create our entity type, and in that what are all the fields information we wanted to exchange, so that information we can create it. And we have another way also, so that is data model import DDIC structure. So here you can provide your entity type name and your database table, so that automatically all the fields which will come. Okay, so I'll come out from this. SCGW. So delete this one to show you how we can use that data model. G customer ship to customer ship to data, and click on continue. Okay, again this is also using use. Continue. So now I'm going to create this entity type entity sets using our DDIC structure table. Select. So now provide your entity type name G customer ship to, and your structure is nothing but your table name. And then go with this default entity set, and then click next, and select only required fields from your structure. I need only customer ID and ship to, and then next, and propose both are key fields. So in table both are key fields, and then finish. So now you can see entity types which are created automatically, and this is the properties where it has customer ID ship to and data type as EDM string and field label also, which is populated. And what is the difference between earlier and now? Earlier we created project and we created entity type entity set manually, but now we created using import option ADIC structure. So either of the ways you can create, there is no issue, but I wanted to show you how using import also we can create and how we can directly create our entity types and sets in project. So what is completed now? We created project and we have created entity types and entity sets. So after this, click on save. So step one, step two are completed. Created project, this is done. And created entity types and entity set, which is also completed. Now we need to generate runtime artifacts. So here if you see generate runtime objects, so click on this. So when you click on this generate and runtime objects, system, it will propose model provider, data provider classes. So model provider classes where your entity type, entity sets created with attributes, right? Those will be registered here. And data provider class, which is going to use for you to create, update, modify, delete data business logic where you can kept in this data provider classes. And wherever you can see there are extension and MPC classes, DPC extensions are there. So these are nothing but one is super class and another one is its child class. We always use our child classes, extension classes, not super classes to implement logic. And you have a service technical name. So if anybody asks what is your OData technical name, then you have to say this is the technical name for your OData service. And gcust ship to SRV is your technical name. You need to remember this. And then click on continue and save as local object. So once you completed this, then the task for generate runtime artifacts are completed. So all your runtime artifacts are generated. You can check all your runtime artifacts here, generated one, and service implementation, which will be created, and maintenance, which will be available here, HE4 client 400. So service maintenance also we have to establish. Service maintenance means to which system we are going to connect and exchange our information. So basically this service maintenance will be happen using transaction GW client, sorry, maintenance service. So this is the one. So copy this. So step 3 also completed, generate runtime artifacts. Now fourth step, register and activate OData service. For that, you need to enter this transaction /n/n/IWFND service. /n/IWFND/service. What is this maintain service or service? Maintain service. So this is a place where we can connect our external systems with our service. So copy our service name, technical name. So this is our service technical name and go to maintenance service. So first search for your service, whether it is exist or not. So no hits. So service is not created. Then you cannot exchange your data. So you need to create your service to connect with other systems. For that, what we have to do, click on add service. and here you need to provide to which system you wanted to connect. So in real time, these alias names which is provided by your basis team, and this is our gateway system. So from ECC to gateway we were connecting, then we need to choose this gateway system, and here we don't have gateway system, so we were connecting to a system where it is created by default in test client. So, and use this. So this is the system where we are connecting and exchanging our information. And technical service name, your OData service technical name you have to enter. And after that, so click on add selected services. Okay. What we have to do, just enter. So once you click on enter, your service will come here, and then select this service and click add selected services. So now this is your technical name, and which is stored under $TMP, and then click on continue. So we are establishing connection to other system. So now your service is created successfully. Now copy this technical name and then go back. So again execute this /n/iwfnd/maintain service. Now check for your service whether it is exist or not. Enter your technical name. And click on continue. So now you can see your service which is created successfully, and you can see in the below what it says, this project OData project, and which is created successfully, and connection also established with the HE400, which is another system where we are connecting from ERP to and sending information. So if you wanted to test how this connection is, execute this SAP gateway client. So now you can test your service. So from there you can execute and then test, or if you want, you can execute this /n/iwfnd client to test your OData service. So here right now we are in that particular T code only. So /n/iwfnd client. So here we can test our services. Now execute. It will show us how good our service, whether it is properly created and connected to another system or not. Here you have two things, one is request and another one is response. So now in the response you can see our service which is good, and we were successfully connected to the another system, and status code 200 says now you can use methods to exchange information from another from ERP system to another system. So this is what HTTP protocol. So this HTTP will be automatically generated. So whenever we got any requirement to exchange information, so as a ABAPer, first you have to complete these steps, and you need to register and activate your OData service, And once you completed with all these steps, and finally when you executed, you should show value as 200, and it has to show it is connected successfully. And then we will copy this XML information. So here we have a copy option, and this XML data we are going to share with front end developer. So that front end developer, he will build web application, and then he will read your OData service request, and then he will open a portal with the request details. So that is front end technical person is going to perform. And if you see here, you have different methods are there. So get method, post, put, patch, merge, delete, head, different methods are there. So these methods are nothing but get, which is nothing but to get the data from ERP system. You need to prepare, you need to send a HTTP request, and that request, it will go and hit the ERP system and get the data, and that data will be coming as a HTTP response. And this response, which will be used by front end developer, and then he will show that information into website. So this get, which is read operation, post, which is create operation. If you wanted to create address information into ERP, then you can use post, and then send your request what you wanted to update, and in the response you will see a data updated successfully like that. And put means updated, update information. If you wanted to update any information which is already exists, then you can use put. And patch, merge, these are combination of get and update. So when you have a requirement like you need to get the data at the same time you wanted to update, then you can use this patch and merge. And delete, if you wanted to delete record information from ERP address information, then you can use delete. And head, this is newly created, I don't know actually what this is used for. So mostly we use get, post, and merge, sorry, put and delete. So get, read information, post, create information, put, modify or update, delete is used to delete the information. So each method related, you have to create business logic under DPC ext class. In the DPC ext, you need to enable, if you wanted to get the data, one method you need to create. If you wanted to post the data, you need to create another method. And here you can see entity sets. In this particular OData project, what is the information you are exchanging? That information structure, table information, you can see here in the entity sets. So this is our entity set, which is a table where we have our data we are going to exchange to web application. So that entity set technical name you can see over here. So this is our OData technical name, and this is our entity set. So using this entity set, we are going to get the data. Get the data means reading record. Right now, if I execute, I'll get error. Why? Because there is no implementation for this get method. We haven't created any business logic, or we haven't implemented this get method for this entity set to read the data. Then you will get an error saying that this is not implemented. can see 4501, which is a status code error saying that it is not implemented. And if you wanted to see detailed errors, why this is happened, what happened inside, like ST22 we have, right? For every T code level, whenever any issue happened, dump occurred, we will go to ST22 and do the analysis, right? In OData also, we have a separate T code for error analysis. So that is this one, slash W-D error log. So if you go to this T code, you'll get errors in detail. So slash n and then enter this T code. Here you can see today one error which is reported and that is executed by this user, and this is the error related status code, and where the error occurred is in the method ship get entity set. Why this error occurred? Because this method is not implemented in the data provider class. Because of that reason we are getting this error. So what you have to do, you need to implement this method inside the data provider class so that your issue will be resolved. So this is like ST22. It has a detailed information about error, and if you wanted to run from here to see the issue again, you can run it. So you can send the request and then go into the debug and then see response, what is happening, everything. So this is a transaction where we will do the error analysis, especially for OData service related. So now if you wanted to use this put, patch, merge, get all these operations, what you have to do, you need to enable, implement the methods inside your OData project, DPC ext method. So let me close this one. So that is what step 5 and 6. Implement entity types and methods and test entity types and methods. So if you go to SCGW, this is your project and where you have runtime artifacts. So double click on DPCXT method class, double click on it. So now you can see in the DPCXT class, you have different methods and create, delete, get, update entity sets. So your requirement is to get the data, then you have to implement create entity. And if you wanted to update, then you have to use update entity. If you wanted to read a single record, then you need to implement get entity method. If you wanted to read multiple records, then use get entity set. If you wanted to delete a record, then you can go and use delete entity. So this method implementations and the testing step 5 and 6 we will see in tomorrow class. So what we learned today is what is OData and what are the main important T codes in OData, and how do we work with OData service. If you wanted to exchange data from ERP to another system using OData gateway, what are all the steps we have to perform, and which system, what are the steps we used to do. All these things we have discussed, and we created OData project, and we created entity type and entity set, which is nothing but the structure and table we wanted to exchange, and we generated runtime artifacts which is created at runtime to exchange information using the classes methods, and we registered our service and we activated our OData service to exchange information in maintenance service T code level. So tomorrow we will see how do we implement methods and how do we test these methods to perform create operation, read operation, update operation, delete operation. I'll be stopping with this today. Any doubts so far? Okay, if no questions, we can wind up for the day. Thank you. Bye.